Somewhere in Ohio is an amiable and loved staff of a big grocery/superstore. It started like any other quiet evening in the suburban town of Ridgewood, Ohio. Shoppers rushed through the aisles of Harrison's Superstore, where longtime employee Linda Carter had worked for over a decade. Known for her kindness and reliability, Linda was the kind of woman her neighbors trusted with a spare key, and her colleagues often turned to for advice. But that ordinary week quickly spiraled into tragedy when Linda's 19-year-old daughter, Emily Carter, suddenly vanished. Emily was bright, ambitious, and loved by her small circle of friends. She had recently been dating her college boyfriend, Ryan, a relationship that, though seemingly affectionate, was peppered with teenage arguments. On the night she disappeared, neighbors recalled hearing raised voices between Emily and Ryan in the driveway. By the next morning, Emily was gone. The entire community erupted in shock. Linda's coworkers at the store whispered in disbelief during their shifts. Her next-door neighbor, Mrs. Hollis, described the disappearance as like losing a daughter of our own. Even Emily's estranged father, Tom, who had divorced Linda years earlier, came back into town desperate for answers. At first, suspicion fell squarely on Ryan. Investigators uncovered text messages, angry exchanges from the night Emily vanished, that suggested a heated fight. A smear of blood on Ryan's car seat deepened suspicions. The town was convinced he was guilty. But then, the story took an unexpected turn. Forensics revealed the blood in Ryan's car belonged not to Emily, but to Ryan himself from a previous injury. He admitted their fight was intense, but swore Emily stormed off alive. The case grew colder, and the community's whispers turned into doubt and fear. Detectives, refusing to let the trail go cold, began probing deeper into Emily's home life. It was then that unsettling cracks began to show. Linda's new husband, Mark, Emily's stepfather, who had presented himself as a calm, supportive figure, seemed oddly evasive in interviews. His timeline the night of Emily's disappearance shifted each time he retold it. Then came the chilling discovery. Emily's diary, hidden beneath a loose floorboard in her bedroom, painted a different picture of her home life. She wrote about feeling uncomfortable around Mark, entries describing strange late-night encounters, and her growing desire to move out of the house. The community's shock turned to horror when investigators uncovered security footage from a nearby gas station. It showed Emily's car being driven late at night, with Mark behind the wheel. Hours later, the car was found abandoned near a wooded area on the outskirts of town. In a heart-wrenching twist, detectives finally uncovered the truth. After Emily's argument with Ryan, she returned home upset. That night, she confronted her stepfather about his behavior, threatening to tell her mother everything. The confrontation turned violent. In a desperate act to silence her, Mark assaulted her, leading to the unthinkable. He then staged her disappearance to shift suspicion onto Ryan. When the truth came out, the entire town was shattered. Linda's colleagues wept for her at work. Her ex-husband, Tom, broke down publicly, guilt-ridden that he hadn't been there to protect Emily. And neighbors, once convinced Ryan was guilty, now looked upon Linda's home with grief and disbelief. For Linda, the tragedy was twofold: the loss of her only daughter and the betrayal by the man she had trusted to help rebuild her life. Emily Carter's disappearance became more than just a local crime story. It was a haunting reminder that sometimes the real danger lies closest to home. Emily Carter's story remains one of the darkest chapters in Ridgewood's history, a painful reminder that sometimes the true threat is the one we least expect. What do you think could have been done to prevent Emily's fate? And why do so many communities overlook the warning signs that are often right in front of them? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more real-life stories filled with shocking twists and haunting truths, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Viral True Crime. Because here, every mystery deserves a voice.